Welcome, folks. I'm Jabby Kaway, joined by Chara Kirk.
What's up?
We're looking at the new trailer to Avatar: The Way of Water. Shapeless, formless, be like water, my friend.
Be formless, shapeless, like water.
That's what Bruce Lee said, and I hope he makes an appearance in this movie. That's a weird joke. We're going to keep it. Okay. You guys, thanks so much for joining us. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and vote this up. Let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. I did not anticipate that there would be this much excitement behind Avatar. I was like, it's 12 years removed or something, like, or even more than that.
It's been a long
time, and I was not anticipating there would be this much excitement behind it. I'm glad that there is this much excitement, but I cannot lie and say that it didn't surprise me. Like, it very much surprised me just because we're so removed from it.
Yeah.
But like, that's super cool. Like, he's coming back strong. James Cameron knows his shit. That's the thing. It's like, he's so much confidence. So much brazen confidence, and all the excitement behind this movie is justifying it. Anyway, if you guys haven't seen The Abyss, you should definitely check that out. As far as I know, that's James Cameron's first foray into underwater film stuff.
Oh.
And it's in the visual effects world, it's a classic. I think it's a really good movie.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, so I like it a lot. If it comes out on 4K Blu-ray, I'm definitely picking it up. Anyway, without further ado.
Wow. What is that?
Oh!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, they have a whole family.
Dad, I know you think I'm crazy. But I feel her.
Oh my gosh, this is
I hear
so
her
cool.
heartbeat. She's so close.
So what does her heartbeat sound like?
Intense.
Mighty.
Oh, wow.
We cannot let you bring your war here.
Outcast. That's all they see.
I see.
The way of water connects all things. Before your birth and after your death.
This is our home!
I need you with me. And I need you to be strong. Strongheart.
Damn.
All right, not gonna lie, I got a little bit emotional.
You got misty-eyed?
I did get a little bit misty and goosebumps pretty much since the beginning of the trailer. It
looks fantastic.
Really cool.
He knows his shit.
Yeah, no, that's all I was thinking the entire time. I'm like, say what you will about James Cameron, he knows how to make an entertaining movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's got all the things. It's got romance, it's got action, it's got stunning visuals, it's moving.
Yeah, it's just that it's taken so long to get here.
I know.
But like, James Cameron's clearly not ready to hang his boxing gloves up yet. Like, this dude is punching strong.
No, yeah, and like, you know, it like you said, it takes a certain degree of confidence to not rush yourself as an artist and be like, no, I know what I want to do, and I need to take the time for the technology to catch up.
But also proof that you can make billions at the box office.
Yeah.
And so he has that sort of, leeway. He, like, the studio is going to give him all the room he wants because they know at the end of that journey, he's going to bring them back billions. So I think we had a big shock at this pregnant belly thing. Like, I think it was a little bit too much, more than was warranted.
I know. I think it was just because we forgot that like there's a whole family angle here, and then it's like, oh shit, like, oh, we've never seen that before.
Well, not in this universe.
Not in this universe.
Well,
so
this
that's
is
cool.
still largely unexplored for us. I was thinking as the trailer was going, how happy it makes me that we're getting a lot of this stuff that's exploring underwater in cinema. You know, I mean, it started with Aquaman. And then, of course, we've got Black Panther Wakanda Forever coming out. And this, because the aquatic life is, like, extremely overlooked. It's really, really important to the environment, and we overlook it so much. And so anything that makes us more aware of what's going on under there, I think is really good.
Well, it's so mysterious as well, right? Because there's so much in the deep, deep sea, like right in the depths where it's really dark that even we don't really know that much about. And water covers about 70% of the Earth's surface. Like there's so much life underneath there that we're not privy to.
Well, the main thing I'm aiming at is just man's effect on the aquatic life and how that ultimately does circle back around to affect us in a negative way if we are not more careful going forward.
Right, balance in the ecosystem.
The scale of this is awesome.
Yeah.
You already have a sense as to how tall what are they called, the Na'vi? I forgot what the name of it.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
You already have a sense as to how tall they are based on our experience with the first Avatar film, right?
Right, yeah.
You see them compared to human beings. And then you see this compared to the Na'vi. It's like, whoa, that's crazy huge.
Yeah, and then you think about as well how awesome this will look in theaters. I don't know if James Cameron is trying to push this in 3D again.
Probably.
I would imagine so.
Hopefully not 48 frames per second. But this skin texture, like there are instances where I'm like, dang, that looks like a real person or a real creature or whatever. It looks so photoreal at times. The one thing that throws me sometimes is in the beginning, like this is obviously a nitpick because it doesn't matter, but like when they're running through the forest and there's like a little plant that the kid was playing with. In the first film, it kind of threw me as well, but that's the stuff that reminds me, oh, this is an animation. Like there's a certain look to it.
No, yeah, I get it. There were certain times watching the trailer where I was very aware that I was watching CGI.
Like most of this looks great.
Yeah.
But then I look at the blue plants in the background and I'm like, oh, that looks a little bit cartoony. It just depends. Like it's not 100% looking. That's what got me right here. Is the animation around this right here looked to me like animation as opposed to something that was organic in the wild.
Right, but you know, we just have to accept that.
No, I totally get it. Because at the same time, like, this kid looks so real.
Yeah.
I'm like, god dang.
He looks so good.
Like that looks like a real creature, kid thing. Like it's amazing. I think part of what also helps is the texture of the hair. I think, you know, visual effects artists have been working on hair for so long that they've gotten that down pat.
Yeah, all the textures are looking incredible.
But my favorite thing to see when it comes to animation or CGI is when I realized this when I was watching Finding Nemo, is when you see a creature that is wet come out of the water and just how they look with the reflections and everything like that. Like there's a scene where not Nemo, but his dad and Dory were inside the mouth of the whale and the tongue goes up, you know, and like the water drips off of them. And it looks really real. And like there's instances like that here that give me that same vibe. I know that's a weird thing to compare it to, but that's where my brain went because that was the first memory I have of that. Like this right here.
Yeah.
Look at the water dripping off of his head.
The glisten.
Like that's wild to me. That looks so real. Like that's a real dude coming out the water. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy to me how much of this is 100% CGI.
Well, don't they use motion capture? Like,
certainly.
These actors have been working on this for so long.
No, it's definitely motion capture, but still, like the texture of the skin with the water to me is like, it's just fucking chef's kiss, man.
I know, and then like all of the animals as well under the water look incredible. It's just so cool, and I'm excited, you know, like James Cameron knows how to tell a moving story. Might it be maybe a little bit cheesy sometimes? Maybe, but that's okay. Like sometimes I want that. Sometimes I want like a melodramatic story about love and family, and I want to sit there and cry into my bucket of popcorn.
I haven't watched the first Avatar in years, and I don't know if it's gonna be any less cheesy than how I felt about it in terms of certain moments.
Yeah, but I just remember when I watched the first one, I was so moved by it, and it was like a really weird moment because I was like, oh my God, this movie's so good. And I watched it with my older sister and her family, and then I turned and I looked at my brother-in-law, and he was like, this movie is so cheesy. I was like, wow, we had very different experiences watching this.
Again, calling back to the thing we mentioned earlier, like, look, she's moving through the water and you can see the wet on her face. It just looks so good.
I'm also really curious about these new people that they look like the Na'vi, but they have a different accent, and it seems like maybe they're a different tribe or something. And so I'm like, oh, okay, what's the angle here with the storytelling? I'm sure maybe it's going to be something about, like, we're all the same, unity, love.
Well, looking at the credits right now, the story was constructed by a group. I mean, James Cameron obviously had the foundation that he laid, but it's a story by James Cameron, Rick Jaffa, Amanda Silver, Josh Friedman, Shane Salerno, and then it's written by James Cameron, Rick Jaffa, and Amanda Silver. So it's a whole group of people that have worked on this, which to me, I don't know, like maybe that inspires less confidence in some people, but to me that gives me more confidence because James Cameron clearly wanted to get the story right. I mean, this has been cooking for
a long
over
time.
A decade, and so I feel like it's gonna come out strong. I hope. I hope, because what was popping into my head as you were talking about how it being entertaining and whatnot was how much money was spent on Rings of Power and how unentertaining that was.
Oh, yeah.
And like how good that looked and how unentertaining it was for several episodes. I really hope that this follows the trend of James Cameron that we've had for years, and that is, it doesn't just look great, it feels great.
I mean, he's got a long list of successful movies to back himself up.
Anyways, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed this discussion and reaction. Let us know your feelings in the comments below. I'm Jabby Kuwait. This is
Achara Kirk.
Peace out.